20 historical photos that will change your perspective on the future. Bruce Larsen confronting and flipping off a Ku Klux Klan member. This photo shows a man giving the middle finger to a member of the Ku Klux Klan, a white supremacist organization in the United States. The Ku Klux Klan was founded after the Civil War 1865 and became infamous for its racist ideology, violence, and intimidation against black people, Jews, Catholics, and other minority groups. The man confronting the Ku Klux Klan with a simple but bold gesture shows that, despite the group's attempts to instill fear through symbols and propaganda, many people were still brave enough to oppose them openly. A shadow that served as a horrifying relic. When the atomic bomb detonated over Hiroshima the morning of August 6, 1945, a resident was seated on the stone steps outside of Sumitomo Bank, but seconds later, they were incinerated in the boiling light. In their place was a shadow that served as a horrifying relic. Killed serial killer. The inmate who killed serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer, Christopher Scarver, said one of the reasons he did was that Dahmer shaped his prison food into mini sculptures resembling human limbs. Wisconsin prison, 1994. A British punk mourns the death of Lady Diana Spencer. In the image, a punk man wearing a leather jacket, graffiti-covered jeans, and a bright red mohawk is seen carrying a floral tribute for Diana. Beside him, a young boy looks up at him with admiration. What makes this picture striking is the contrast. Punks were often associated with rebellion and anti-establishment attitudes, yet here one is paying respects to a royal figure. It shows how Diana's compassion and humanity touched people far beyond traditional boundaries. The man who killed the mother of Martin Luther King Jr. Marcus Wayne Cheneau Jr., who killed the mother of Martin Luther King Jr. at a Sunday service in Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta in 1974. He was arrested for Alberta's murder and the murder of church deacon Edward Boykin. Children in an iron lung before the polio vaccine, 1950. This photo is a haunting reminder of a time when a now preventable disease held entire societies in fear. It also highlights the resilience of children and the compassion of caregivers before modern medicine had all the answers. A boy enjoys his ice cream as he sits on a sea mine washed up on the beach at Deal in Kent, United Kingdom. This image captures the contrast between innocence and destruction, a child treating a deadly war relic like a playground toy. It reminds us how war's dangers linger long after battles end, especially for the most vulnerable. A lone man refusing to do the Nazi salute, 1936. This image has become a timeless symbol of individual resistance against tyranny. In a world that demanded absolute obedience, one man chose to stand firm in his beliefs. Albert Einstein says, "The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything." The Orvitz Family. During the Second World War, the Orvitz family, a group of 7 dwarfs, all related, were kept prisoners in Auschwitz concentration camp 1944. They survived because they became the pet project of Joseph Mengele, who kept them separated and in better conditions to study them better. This image stands as a powerful testimony to survival under unthinkable circumstances. The Orvitz family reminds us that even in the darkest places, hope, unity, and identity can endure. Some rare photos of women coal miners in 1970s-80s Appalachia. This image isn't just about miners, it's about barriers being broken, stereotypes being challenged, and the quiet revolution of women claiming their place in every corner of the workforce. These women paved the way for future generations in industries where they were once told they didn't belong. A French woman has her head shaved by civilians as a penalty for collaborating with the Nazis during the French occupation 1944. This image represents the chaos and moral gray areas of post-war justice. It reflects how, in the aftermath of war, revenge often blurred the lines between justice and cruelty. It also challenges us to examine how women, in particular, have been scapegoated in times of political upheaval. Lumberjacks pose under the redwood tree they are trying to fell, circa 1890s-1900s. This image serves as a powerful reminder of human ingenuity and industrial ambition, but also of the irreversible environmental impact of early development. It captures a moment when natural giants fell to human hands, long before conservation efforts took root. The Crawlers, 1877. The crawlers were the lowest of the British poor. This elderly widow is sitting outside a tailor's shop, holding a baby while its mother works. She was given a cup of tea and a slice of bread daily in return. This photograph is more than a frozen moment in time. It's a visual cry for empathy, a call to confront the human cost of industrial and societal progress. It forced a society to look at when it would rather ignore and laid early groundwork for the fight against urban poverty. Photo from 1967 showing a kangaroo attacking a photographer attempting to take its picture. Though the exact origin and photographer are unclear, this image has resurfaced many times across books, documentaries, and online platforms as a symbol of wildlife unpredictability and the risks of underestimating animals that may look friendly or tame. The first black woman on the Oakland Police. Sandra Brown, the first black woman on the Oakland Police Force, gets instructions on how to shoot a shotgun. 1970. This picture might look like marketing material based on the way she's holding the gun, but in the 1970s this was considered the proper way to shoot a shotgun at close range. This image represents more than just a training session. It's a snapshot of social revolution, a reminder of the individuals who challenged norms and claimed space in historically exclusive arenas. Crowds at the Lust Garden next to the Royal Palace in Berlin on the 1st of August 1914, waiting for the declaration of war. Here, people sit in parks and city squares, exhausted and hopeless, a powerful image of how ordinary citizens suffered. This period of despair later helped pave the way for political radicalism to rise in Germany. Stack of bison skulls. This photo taken in 1892 at Michigan Carbon Works depicts an enormous stack of bison skulls that were about to be turned into products. The government paid for up to 60 million bison to be slaughtered by the 1890s in order to starve the native population and profit from their hides and bones. Moving building. In 1930, engineers moved the Indiana Bell Telephone Building, an 8-story, 22 million pound structure 52 feet, and rotated it 90 degrees in just 34 days, all while 600 employees continued working inside without interruption. The Antarctic Snow Cruiser. In 1939, the Antarctic Snow Cruiser was unveiled as a futuristic beast meant to conquer the frozen continent. Instead, it became one of history's most spectacular engineering flops. In the picture, crowds gathered to watch it on the road, but ironically, here it is shown struggling to pass under a bridge, a symbolic preview of its doomed mission. Though a failure, the Snow Cruiser remains a fascinating piece of engineering history and a reminder of humanity's ambitious spirit of exploration. Women's Gun Club. Drexel College, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Women's Gun Club, posing with their rifles. In the 1920s, pictures like this captured the spirit of change, women showing strength, independence, and readiness to defend themselves if necessary. It's a fascinating glimpse into a time when the image of women with rifles defied stereotypes and represented a bold new chapter in social history. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.